That is a jam of par excellence. The amazing Steve Taglioni on soprano saxophone. Very nice.
Thank you, man.
Isn't that cool?
That was so fun to cut that song.
I've got to ask you, David.
Yeah.
I mean, you are one of the most sophisticated producers and keyboard players out there. And I just want to know what your thoughts are for your production techniques. I mean, how do you get in the studio and you get all these people around and you come up with such amazing product like that, and you just seem to churn it out. I don't know how you do that. I guess maybe you can share some of your insights.
Well, I think I've been very fortunate. Like, I came to L.A. in '74, and the recording studios were at their heyday back then. There was A&M Records on La Brea. It was a culture where a lot of guys didn't have time to go play live because they were in the studio. There used to be 3 sessions a day.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I talked with the late John Guerin, one wonderful drummer from the LA Express, and he told me that back in the day, the Tonight Show wasn't even a good gig because it kind of fell in between 2 session slots. So if you did the Tonight Show, you'd miss 2 sessions a day. They couldn't afford to do it. And, I got in the studios, I got around people. I had a friend who actually just passed last week, a wonderful guy, Pat Murphy, who was a mentor, and he had been a assistant engineer down at A&M Records for many of the hit records. So you just get in the studio and you learn how it works. It's an instrument, And I learned on 2-inch tape, I should say, before digital. And you had to really be in control of what tracks you had available, where you could put things, how you could lay it out. But I watched the masters work. My first record, 1983, Al Schmidt was my engineer.
Right.
And he had been in the studios. So I picked up watching people like Jay Graydon and David Foster, George Duke, all contemporaries of mine. David Foster was a piano player in town when I got here. I remember his first
little known piano player.
Oh yeah, and I saw him at Dante's one night. He was a good guy. David and I got to play together a few times. Now he is a master producer, and so of course Quincy Jones. Yeah. Tommy LaPuma.
And you've worked with all these people, haven't you? As well?
Oh yeah.
I mean, over the years, you've really rubbed shoulders and actually worked in the same bands of a lot of these legends.
And you have to have ears. I mean, Quincy had huge ears. You got to be able to tell what sounds good, which is the good take. And you got to be able. Oh, I brought a special cut to play later.
Oh, okay, cool.
Something we did with Wayne Shorter, and I remember when we did the date, he asked me, he goes, "How was that?" And I looked around and I realized, oh, I got to tell him. Try this or try that, so we'll talk more about it. What do you got there?
I want to play one of my favorite David Garfield tracks, and it's one I always play on my gigs because I got a track for it.
Great.
And it's your version of "Let's Stay Together" with the legendary Scottish singer, the new Mr. on vocals,
Alex Lidgerwood.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Alex Lidgerwood. Let's have a listen to this. Now, when did you do this? This was a few years back.
We recorded this in 1996, Capitol Studio B, and the rhythm section.
Who was the engineer on this one?
This was Alan Hirschberg. The rhythm section was Steve Froney, Nathan East, Steve Lukather, Michael Landau, myself, and Ben Montench, who's the organ player for the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Wonderful organ player.
Let's have a listen to this. This is "Let's Stay Together," featuring Alex Lidgerwood on vocals.
Aye.
Aye.
Oui.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me, 'cause you make
can't see. You never do that to me, baby. Being around you is all I see. Oh, baby, let's stay together, loving you wherever times are good or bad, happy or sad. Let's stay together now, babe. Ooh. Times are good and bad, happy or sad.
We're going to fade this down a little bit because we want to play the version with Michael McDonald on it.
No, this is the one with Michael.
This is the one with Michael, but this is one with Alex Liggerwood.
But I want to point out something.
Now, tell us about this. Yeah.
Now, this is the same rhythm track, but we've done a new approach on the mix. And I mentioned that Mike Landau and Steve Lukather were on the basic track. We overdubbed the great David T. Walker.
Oh, wow.
And on this version, we featured him and Joe Sample, who played the Rhodes. It's kind of funny how we get so many people on these records. Joe played the Rhodes, and after he passed, I decided to do this new version with Alex singing. You'll hear some different things, but you will hear Don Henley and Richard Marx and those guys in the background.
And then who was the girl at the beginning of
Parlett Brown.
Oh, yeah.
And so you'll hear some different stuff on this. Compare.
Okay, we will indeed. Listeners, let us know what you think of this other version of Let's Stay Together. Nice little bit of saxophone from
Larry Klimas.
yes, indeed. My good friend Larry Klimas. What a sweetheart.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is alright with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. And I wanna spend my life with you. Let me say now since baby, since we've been together, loving you forever is what I need. Let me be the one you come running to. And I'll never be untrue. Oh, honey, let's stay together.
absolutely outstanding. That is Alex Lidgertwood, and of course all the gang on there as well, as mentioned earlier. David Garfield is my special guest in the studio today. I want to say a big thanks to all of our listeners have been listening to my show each and every week, and I want to wish everybody a happy new year, and hope that this year works out really well for you. David Garfield, my special guest in the studio today. That's such a great album.
Isn't that a fun song?
Yeah.
Let me tell you just a little bit about the history of that song. So I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, which is where Ike and Tina are from, and Chuck Berry and Donny Hathaway, amongst Michael McDonald and David Sanborn. I mean, it's an R&B kind of a town. And I came up playing Al Green. You know, we played Love and Happiness 3 times a night, and we played Let's Stay Together. So when we did the Tribute to Jeff album, we were trying to pick out music. Now, Jeff Porcaro was the drummer of Toto.
Yeah.
We wanted something that represented his career. Now, he played R&B. He loved R&B. So we picked that song for Michael McDonald to sing, and the rest was history. We had great success. Now, this new version with Alex, we did a slightly different treatment. Now, the next song on the Alex Lidgertwood CD, which is, by the way, CD number 3 in the Outside the Box set.
Oh, okay.
That's
I don't
the third
have
of the 6. I'm going to leave that with you.
Oh, thank you so much.
The story behind this next cut is it was done live in Poland, and you'll love this story. First of all, we were on our way. We did a short tour of Poland. It was Eric Marienthal, myself, James Harrod, Chad Wackerman, Alex, and John Pena, and we did 3 concerts. The third concert, we were on our way, and they told us they were going to cancel the concert because not enough tickets were sold. And I said, there's people that have bought tickets to see me play. We came all the way from Los Angeles. We're going to play. So I insisted that we go to take the bus. We drove 3 hours. We set up. We did the concert. At the end of the concert, I heard music. It sounded like, who is that? It sounded like me. They said, well, that's tonight's concert. And I went and told the guy that hired us, and he said, there's no way. They didn't record it. I expressly told them they had no permission to record. I go, listen to that. That's our concert. I brought him to the desk, and sure enough, they had recorded it. Took me about 9 months to get the hard drive, but I demanded the files. And when I got the files, this version of I Put a Spell on You was on those recordings. And we remixed it here in the studios. It's totally live, and it features great Eric Marienthal, who is your friend as well as mine.
Indeed. Let's have a listen to this. This is off the Alex Lidgertwood album from the Outside the Box CD set. And I've got to tell you again, listeners, if you have not got a copy of this CD set, it's an essential listening thing to have in your record collection. I've got to tell you, I've got every one of those CDs except for this one, and so that now actually makes my collection complete.
Yeah.
So let's have a listen to this. Amazing, absolutely amazing. We're going to do a little bit of live playing as well a little bit later on in the show, hopefully.
Yeah.
My special guest is David Garfield. We are broadcasting live on my YouTube channel and, of course, on Facebook. Go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to our YouTube page.
I put a spell on you. Cause you're mine. You better stop the things that you do, baby. 'Cause look out, I ain't lying, no. Oh, I ain't lying. Child, I can't stand it when you're running around. I can't stand it when you put me down. I put a spell on you. I put a spell on you, my love, simply because you're mine. Yeah, yeah. And I want you to stop the things that you do. 'Cause look up, my dear, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, I love you. You know I love you. I said I love you anyhow. And I don't care if you don't want me, yeah. I said I'm a yeah. I put a spell on you. Oh, baby. Oh, oh, oh. How because you're mine. And you'll always be mine. I put a spell on you.
Oh yeah. Alex Littlewood and my yeah, I thought sharp 11 there. So yes, indeed, very nice. The amazing Mr. David Garfield in the house today.
Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Good to see you as well. And we are going to see if we can cajole David into playing a little bit live in the studio.
Man, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, he's got. David was actually quite amazed at the. I got the little Leslie over there on that Hammond.
You listen.
You know, turn me on to that.
Who?
Ricky Peterson.
Really?
Yeah, he plays that. Takes it out on the road now. He doesn't take his B3 anymore. He just
Wow.
takes that Hammond XK5 and his Leslie, and he's good to go.
No, listen. Mike is the most organized professional I know in Los Angeles. This whole place is so pristine and functional, and it's got the highest and the most latest equipment. I'm always impressed.
Okay, thank you so much, David. I'm going to just cut that little bit of the show out and put it on my next website. Thank you so much.
I want to know what bank you had to rob. No.
Oh yeah, right.
No, he does a great job with it, and it's a good environment for being creative. You know, I keep talking about recording here. This year we will record something here with you
It'll be an honour.
for the project.
And we've had some great people in and out. We just had Dave Cos was here a few weeks ago recording with Greg Manning. And Tommy Davidson, their new single. I would like to play you actually.
Tommy Davidson is an actor.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
that's
I know
right.
Tommy.
Yeah, you got to check this.
Does he sing or something?
He sings.
Yeah.
You got to hear the song. I'm going to play it for you after this next cut. Yeah, he came in, and Greg was here with Dave Cos. You've worked with Dave, haven't you, quite a bit?
Dave and I used to play in a band. You're going to have to love this, called Randy and Company. I used to get calls, and Jeff Cos, Dave's older brother, was a wonderful guitarist, and he did a lot of, I think, jingles and production. Dave was the younger brother. Now, Dave was in high school. I had played with Tom Scott already, and Steve Tavoloni and Brandon. Ernie Watts played in my band. We did some gigs around town, and I looked at Dave, and I said, Dave, man, you're really good. I think I'll bring you out and put you on some of my gigs. I had no idea he was going to become the star that he is, you know.
Right. And, real nice guy as well. And he's doing. Have you done any of his smooth jazz cruises at all?
No. You know, it's interesting. I have not done any of the cruises, and now with COVID, I doubt that I will. But you know what, Mike? We're doing live broadcasts from my house now, which are reaching all of our fans all over the world, and our next one is January 22nd.
Okay.
Go to davidgarfield.com for the information. We're going to be live 3 p.m. LA time. And this time will be Greg Bissonette on drums, Jimmy Earl on bass, Brandon Fields
Jimmy
and
Earl.
Walt Fowler.
I love Jimmy Earl.
Brandon and Walt. This is a band that we had back in '84. We played the baked potato every week, and but live on Zoom. It takes the airport out of. It takes packing out of the gig, airport out of the gig, lobby call.
That's the way everybody's doing things now.
Yeah. So we'll be doing that, and then in February we have another one coming. But let me tell you about this next cut, okay?
Okay.
This is called Judy by the great Michael Landau. If you're a guitar player, you know who I'm talking about, but a lot of people are very big followers of Michael. He's like a guitar guru, and we've been playing together since he was living in his mom's house. He's mostly known recently for James Taylor, Steve Gadd Band, but Joni Mitchell, a lot of session work, but brilliant guitarist. And we did this, I had the pleasure and privilege of producing this record back in 1990, and we brought in the great Wayne Shorter to play saxophone, and he played this beautiful solo, and then he asked on the microphone, he goes, how was that? And then we all looked at each other, and I realized I was the person that had this. And I got on the top, and I said, Wayne, that's great. Will you try it one more time? Maybe just do a couple more flourishes. You know, I had to tell him something. So take a listen to his second take. He's a genius. And you'll appreciate this, Mike. Yeah. Wayne Shorter walks into the room, right? What are you going to... And he listens to the cut, and he asks me, do you have a chart? And I said, well, no, I'm a guitar player wrote this song. There's no chart. He goes, well, I want to write the changes down. So we got a piece of paper and a Bic pen. He sat in the kitchen, and I told him the changes, and he wrote the changes down. I wonder if I probably have that in my files. I should find that. I'll post it online. Yeah. He used a Bic pen, and he wrote really big, B minor 7 plus 5. He wrote all the changes on the paper, and by gosh.
And they're all correct.
He played them.
Yeah, let's have a listen. My special guest is David Garfield on the program today. Mike Parlett here on Solar Radio. All you could say to that is, wow, that's amazing. That's one of the most incredible, most beautiful examples of Wayne Shorter's playing I've ever heard.
Yeah, what a legend. That guy.
Just came in and just for one take. Oh, no, that's the second take.
Second take, but you know, there's an awesome documentary on Netflix called They Call Him Morgan.
Yes, I've
about
seen
Lee
that.
Morgan.
Yeah.
And Wayne Shorter's in it quite a bit, and Lee Morgan was almost like a big brother to Wayne. He got him into the Jazz Messengers.
Yeah.
And of course, Wayne went on with Miles and then formed Weather Report.
Of course.
And,
Now you've obviously you worked with some legendary singers, including Alex and of course one of my favourite singers, who to this day I don't believe has won a Grammy yet, but been nominated so many times, and that's Phil Perry.
Phil's never won a Grammy?
No.
But he's been nominated.
He's been nominated. I mean, it's amazing, really. And you mentioned Phil Perry to people, and a lot of people don't know who he is. But if you know that style of music and you're into the kind of the soulful sound that Phil Perry has, you'll know exactly who he is and how many people he's worked with. And he's on countless sessions over the years.
Want to hear a story?
Yeah, let's have a listen.
Okay. Roxy Theater, I forget what year it was, probably like 1987 or something. Lee Ritenour did a series of Tuesday night gigs there, like for a whole month. And he had been known with a vocalist, Eric Tagg. They had done Mr. Briefcase. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
It's a rat race, Mr. Briefcase. Yeah. And we went to see Lee play at the Roxy with this thing, and Phil Perry came out, and that's where we first heard him. And he had this incredible range, incredibly soulful. And he really took over the studio world. And one of his best cuts was Music Prayer for Peace with Ernie Watts, which we loved. And I think that won a Grammy or was nominated. But
that did, yes.
Yeah, but he's, we had a period of collaborating with him back here in the late 80s, early 90s. So, and this is a song that I wrote with him. And I like our version, but Phil also recorded this on his Capitol debut record, The Heart of the Man, but the song is called Goodbye.
And let's just say, just mention some of the people that, so we got Vinnie Colaiuta on drums, and of course we got some Larry Klimas, and Michael Brecker is on it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Is it on this cut?
Nico's not on this, Brandon, but I'll tell you the story. I wanted David Sanborn to play the solo on this cut. Oh. I just couldn't get him.
Right.
He's a very hard guy to
But
get.
you went out with David Sanborn quite a bit.
Yeah,
you were his musical director for a while, weren't you?
I did take over for Ricky for a little while, and loved David. But Michael Brecker, we're talking about some names here. The jazz saxophone, and you know what? After this cut, we should play a cut live, you and me, and play the alto saxophone.
Here we go. From the album Charisma, my very special guest in the house today is the amazing Mr. David Garfield. So honoured to have you here, sir.
Try
not saying goodbye. We've got another 45 minutes of the show left. That's Goodbye from the album Charisma, David Garfield featuring the amazing Mr. Phil Perry. And Phil's been in the studio a few times and done interviews here. What a guy.
He's so talented. And he was also from my hometown, and he was in a group called the Montclairs, a singing group.
The Montclairs.
Yeah, from St. Louis, East St. Louis. You know, music's been such a blessing, and how long have we been knowing each other now? Almost 20 years, right?
Yeah, probably that. Yeah,
and
15 anyway, at least.
You know, we're going to make music this year.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be wonderful to do that. I got to tell you, listeners, I first met David at a club in Sherman Oaks, which is in the Valley. And it was a place called Cafe Cordial.
Cafe Cordial.
And they used to have a jam session there every Wednesday, was it? I believe. I think it was on Wednesdays. Yeah. And people used to come down there. All kinds of people used to come in, and you'd have. I think David's might been there once, and all
Rick
kinds
Braun
of Rick Braun, you name it. It's just all
Lucas,
people used to just come in and just jam on Wednesday. It didn't matter who it was. There was a great rhythm section there.
Oh, yeah.
And I played with David one night, and it was great. Just so much fun playing with you.
Oh yeah.
And then we played again the other night for another friend of ours, a guy called Sam Glazer.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I had, it's been so long in COVID, I haven't seen people.
Yeah.
You know, it's a blast. You know, this year we're going to get back. It's all going to come back together. We're survivors.
Hope so. Yeah, we certainly hope so. I want to play just a little bit of this, just snippet of it. This is Tommy Davidson.
Oh, great!
And he's a comedian. And he features on this show called Living Colour.
Yeah.
And then this is a Greg Manning's production. It's all recorded here. Tommy, the saxophone from Dave Cos was recorded here. So have a listen to this. I think you might like it. Oh, before I play it, it's actually a Kenny Lattimore cover.
Okay.
Did you work with Kenny ever?
Not yet, but I mean, we were together in Jakarta, but not on the same time.
Yeah, and it's a cover of his song, not so well known song called "Sweet Reunion."
Great.
Have a listen to this. See what we think.
In the moment I first saw you, I could swear that we had met. The look in your eye was so familiar. Where it went, I forget. Whispered your name in introduction. Darling, my heart filled the room. I knew was you, come back in my life. So we meet again, my long lost friend. Once again we get to start anew, and it feels like 1,000 years. I've been loving you, girl. Have you been waiting here for someone near, while searching the world for a friend? Come on in, I've been expecting you. Sweet reunion, welcome home again. How many lifetimes have I loved you? How many times have you loved me? The sound of your voice is in my memory, like the wind on the sea. The glow of your heart has been my lighthouse. I followed it in from distant shores. Now I won't be afraid to love anymore. So we meet again, my long lost friend. Once again we get to start anew, and it feels like 1,000 years. I've been loving you, girl. If you've been waiting here for someone near, or searching the world for a friend, come on in, I've been expecting you. Sweet reunion, welcome home again.
Play.
Huh? What's the name of that song?
Sweet Reunion. Sweet Reunion, yes. The new one from Tommy Davidson. Amazing Mr. David Garfield in the house today. Oh, yes, indeed. So much fun having a jam with you, David. Had to do that. We had to do it. Yeah. Yeah, man. All right. My special guest here in the studio, right here at Talented Productions, Los Angeles.
That was fun, Michael.
Always fun. Always. So we're having a little bit of a percussion section there.
That's Lenny Castro.
Lenny Castro, yes. So I've mixed a song with Lenny Castro on it.
Let me tell you
for
about
Freddie
Lenny
Fox.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Lenny Castro. We've been brothers for, 40 plus years. He's going to be in part of the John Mayer band this year. They're getting ready to go out for 3 months.
Okay.
Him and Greg Fillinganes and Steve Ferroni. And they'll be doing 3 months of touring. They all have to be vaccinated, and they have to all stay in a bubble. He can't do other gigs with
Literally
other
a
people.
bubble,
Yeah. But Lenny's been part of all of our groups, and he's played on the Rolling Stones, Stevie Wonder, Crusaders, Eric Clapton, Jacksons. I mean, you name it. But he's been a member of Charisma since the beginning, and of course, Los Lobotomies. Speaking of Los Lobotomies, you had Los Lobotomies queued up over there?
We do in a second, but let's play. I want to play another track off the Charisma album.
Yeah, this is with Mike Brecker. This
yes.
is with great, and Phil Perry as well, and Lenny Castro.
Yes, and this is track number.
David Garfield.
Oh, number 2, track 2, isn't it?
Track 1.
Oh, track 1. Yes.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, probably one of my heroes, of course, is Michael Brecker.
Yeah.
Such a wonderful guy, and.
Yeah, it's amazing. The greatest musicians are so humble. I saw him at Catalina, the old Catalina Bar and Grill, and I gave him a ride back to the Holiday Inn, which is now where the Kodak Theater is. There used to be a Holiday Inn and a gas station. And he was telling me, he goes, I don't know if I was playing so good, man. I was like, come on, Michael, come on. Give me a break.
I've heard other stories about that, that he went into a studio with my friend Richard Niles, and Richard's he was warming up and he hadn't played for he said he hadn't played for a week. I haven't played for a week, so he's warming up and playing this amazing stuff, like unbelievable, like you've never heard. And then he sat down and just threw the horn down on a stand, sat down, and just put his head in his hands. And he said, I suck so bad. I just like.
Isn't
and that's kind of
crazy?
how it was, isn't it? I mean, it is such a genius, and then just
Yeah, most great. Yeah.
Let's have a listen to this. This is from another track from the album Charisma, featuring the great Michael Brecker. Amazing. David Garfield in the house, and of course that particular track featuring my hero, Michael Brecker.
Great
and,
memories.
And you were there, actually,
Oh,
when he recorded that solo.
Oh, shit. You know what he said to me? First thing he did when he, God bless him, he came into the studio, the first thing that happened was he sounded an awful lot like Tom Scott.
Yeah.
And we started playing like Tom Scott cliches. I said, wow, why don't you just play more like you play? You know, it's funny because he was in L.A.
Yeah.
He thought, I have to play this way. And then he played, and then he asked us, he goes, am I sounding too much like Wayne Shorter? I'm like, no, just
So what was that one take then? Was it on there? Just
It could have been a second take. You never know. I was the kind of guy that in the 24-track studio, I'd keep a take and then do another one on another track. Just, and then pick later.
Yeah.
But we never comped too much. And that's all done pre-Pro Tools. I mean, there was no tuning or nothing done.
no, of course.
I don't have the master tapes, so I won't be able to do that. But, I want to tell you about something. This song, I gave you that Los Lobotomies remastered. We found the footage of this session, which was done live at the Complex in West LA. And this really is something else. We did this in 1989 live, and I just remastered it recently, and we found the video footage from the session and put it up on our YouTube channel. But there's a track on there called Joe Rainbow with Joe Sample and I wrote together. I'd love to play it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe was a mentor of mine, a hero, and got to write the song. Now, I just wrote part of the bridge. I got 25% of the song. Joe has 75%. It's like that. But, he was an awesome... Did you ever get to work with Joe?
I didn't.
Oh,
no.
the Crusaders, man, they were relentless. When you go in the studio with the Crusaders, you were on trial by fire. You know what I mean? They were old school.
I played with Wilton Felder, though.
Well, that counts.
Yeah.
Wilton was really...
and I got to tell you, I don't know if you know this, but Wilton was an amazing bass player.
Oh, of course.
And did you know that Wilton was the one that played on the bass on "I Want You Back" with the Jacksons? That was Wilton Felder.
Oh, sure thing.
That was Wilton Felder.
Yeah. Oh, no. Wilton was one of the better studio bass players in L.A. The first John Clemmer record, or the second John Clemmer record I got was recorded live on Melrose at a club called the Ash Grove, and Wilton played bass on the John Clemmer band.
I don't know. I don't know what he was better at, bass or sax. I mean,
Well, Gerald Albright plays bass.
Yes, yeah, cool, and great bass player.
And when we went to Japan a few years ago with Gerald and Freddie Washington, Gerald handed off Freddie handed the bass to Gerald, and then Freddie picked up a Strat. I got footage of that somewhere. Oh man, what a great moment!
So we're going to go back to an album that you recorded, like we were talking about, Los Lobotomies, as we call them over in the UK.
Really?
Yeah.
we're popular over in the UK.
Yeah.
I sell a lot of CDs.
Yeah.
We have a distributor, Proper Music, out of the UK, and they buy hundreds and hundreds of CDs from us constantly.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Well, you've got a big fan base over there. So here we are. This album is including Lenny Castro, Jeff Porcaro on drums, Will Lee on bass, Steve Lukather on guitar, Brandon Fields on sax, and of course Joe Sample and your good self, Carlos Vega, as well as on there, along with Billy Calioda on drums. So let's have a listen to this track. Very cool indeed. Rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're watching our Facebook stream, we were streaming actual footage of that song being played live on my Facebook page. There you go. And who's that jumping up and down?
Will Lee. He's such a ball of energy.
Yeah, I could see that. And of course, Jeff Porcaro on drums as well, and a very young-looking David Garfield at the piano. Very nice indeed. When was that recorded, David?
1989 over at the Complex in West LA. Not far from here.
Very nice indeed, yes. David, he still looks young, though, David Garfield. Look, there he is. He looks, yes.
I'm 65 years young.
Unbelievable. I want to play, just before we do this, I want to play one of my favourite songs on Vox, Outside the Box.
Oh, great.
And this is your version of Rocksteady, which did pretty well.
Oh,
Tell us about this.
Oh, boy.
With Kenya Hathaway.
Well, the Rocksteady is a classic, obviously, and a great song for drums. Now, this is on Vox. That means this is the version with Bernard Purdy on drums.
Yes.
Now, Bernard played on the original Aretha version. It's very well known for his drum break. Rock, that's classic drumming. So having Bernard recut it with us was such a thrill. I went to New Jersey a couple of years ago, stayed at his house. We stayed up all night talking, but this version had got on a few playlists. It's been quite popular on Spotify. We're so happy that people appreciate this. And, of course, it has Bill Champlin doing background vocals. Jerry Hay did the horns.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I played with Bill Champlin about this time last year, actually.
He's a wonderful, wonderful singer. And, of course, he co-wrote that song, After the Love Is Gone and Turn Your Love Around.
Rocksteady.
Yeah.
Come on.
Rock steady, baby, that's what I feel now.
Rocksteady from the album Vox Outside the Box. I've got to tell you again, listeners, I did say earlier on in the program, but it is an exceptionally good value for money. 6 CDs in the box set. How much is the whole box set, David?
Sold separately.
You can't buy the whole box then?
We haven't. We're going to put a package up on along with. You know what we're going to do? Do you wear hats?
Yeah, I do.
We have a little present for you today.
Thank you. Oh, that's nice. I like presents. Oh, and I've got a Creechy jacket as well that you gave me.
You do? Oh,
yeah.
beautiful! And
Yeah.
you're well endowed.
Yes, indeed, I am one. Yes, what they tell me.
This is the outside the box hat.
Outside the box hat. Oh, very cool.
We're gonna make. I think we're gonna make a package of all CDs and like a hat and a shirt all together. But it's not cheap. I hate to say this, but because so many people don't buy CDs anymore, that the hardcore CD fans. We've actually been, believe it or not, our CDs sell for $50.
Oh, really?
75
But
international.
but that doesn't. That's the whole box set, though, right?
No, it's one CD,
one CD,
signed, but it includes postage.
Yeah, that's.
But no, it's a weird world we have with our streaming and everything. But we do have CDs available. Go to davidgarfield.com. Check us out on Spotify.
Yep.
There's a lot of great content on YouTube. We're focusing on YouTube this year. Lots of content, both archival and performance, and we're doing the live show on the 22nd, January 22nd. DavidGarfield.com is the hub. But yeah, Mike. I enjoyed playing with you today, man. We talked about cutting something here. We'll have to cut something here for the next holidays thing coming out in this holidays.
It would be wonderful to do that with you, David. And I've got to tell you, listeners, that if you want to get in touch with David, he does answer emails, don't you?
Oh, eventually.
So you can reach him out to him. Actually, the best way to get hold of him is on your Facebook page, maybe, is it? Or
just go to davidgarfield.com and do the contact us. Is that disc one?
Yes. Yeah. So what are we going to play off here?
The last cut on that disc. We're going to play something from the last Charisma CD called the CD is called Perfect Harmony. It's 3 CDs in one package.
And I think this will probably be the last song today. But once again, thank you very much for joining us, David.
It's always a good song to go out on.
Always such a blast.
And come back again. Let's do something else.
Yeah, and this one's called Mambo's Cafe.
Yeah, it's a great restaurant in Glendale where you get the best Cuban food in L.A.
I've got to check it out. Is it nice?
And they used to have music. We used to play there. Last time I was there, Gary Oldman was eating. I've seen Andy Garcia there.
Yeah. One question I have for you, Dave, just before we go. So, if you're a musician and you're an artist and you want to get your music out there, what's the best way now that people are not buying CDs? How do we sell our music now with no CDs?
What a trip!
Is that a question for another whole 2-hour show?
It's a whole 2-hour show, but I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you right now. Streaming is the way that most people consume music, and people of my generation fought it, but there's nothing to fight. I subscribe to both Apple Music and Spotify. I have access to all kinds of great music anytime I want it. It's just a different era with digital technologies, and it's hard for young artists, but I think the key is do something good and be true to it, stick with it, and you'll get discovered. You know what I told Sheryl Crow?
No.
You've heard Sheryl Crow, right?
Of course.
She's from my hometown. She came out to L.A. We were at the Baked Potatoes. She came in the back door, handed me. She couldn't get in, but she handed me a cassette tape and said, "Oh, this is my stuff." I listened to it. I said, Sheryl, the stuff sounds good, but there's a lot of talented people in L.A. Good luck.
Yeah.
And look at her.
There you go. So, yeah, just goes to show. My special guest has been David Garfield on the program, ladies and gentlemen. Listeners, we'll be back again next week. It's been such a fantastic show. We hope you enjoyed it too. Please restream this show. You can go to my YouTube page, go to YouTube, Mike Parlett Radio Show, and share the show because it's definitely an education. Certainly was for me today. Thank you so much for joining us, David. And we'll see you again next week with another Mike Parlett Radio Show here on Solar Radio for all your soulful, cool jazz and everything else needs. Keep it tuned to Solar Radio. Johnny Britt coming right up after this. We'll see you soon.
Johnny.
Yes, indeed.
I love impromptu.
Oh, yes. See you soon.
listening to the very soulful Mike Parlett on Solar Radio. Hi, this is saxophonist Ronnie Laws, and you're listening to the very soulful Mike Parlett on Solar Radio.